some questions. I'm going to start things off with simply the inspiration for the film, and perhaps to help contextualize the film a bit to the audience in terms of the film's relationship with the current situation in Serbia.
Yes, it is a picture of, for me, it is a picture of contemporary Serbia and Balkan society. After the fall of Berlin Wall at the end of 80s, because there are a lot of big changes after the falling of Berlin Walls, because the oligarchy in Eastern Europe took the rule, and they are often were very corrupted, and they purposely destroyed the factories. And it is oftenly it is society without justice, but it is not only for me the picture of contemporary Serbia. You asked me for the sources. It is also the picture of contemporary world, because I think it is a dystopian movie, because I want to make a picture of near future society, because I think that owners of large capital will push away the majority of mankind, and they will put the majority of mankind into the darkness. But I think the people will find their lost power in that darkness. So for me, it is not only a picture of Balkans society, it is a picture of contemporary world society.
And in terms of the overall trajectory of the film, what I think is so interesting is that you tease this potential supernatural power that the proletariat characters can call upon, but at the end of the day, it turns out to be an illusion. Like they put their faith in something that that was not true. But then that final image, I think, is very powerful. Just the image of all the people together, and them recognizing that they have the power. Could you just elaborate on that trajectory? And
that is a very complicated road they are went during the movie, because they constantly thinking that the power is somewhere else outside of them, and they start like a believers in Christianity, and they change that Christian God to Satan, but clumsy Satan, of course. And at the end, they find out that the power is not somewhere else; that the power is inside them. And I think the modern oligarchy wants to put away our view from inner side of us toward something else, and that is the way of which they are ruling over the mankind, over the world society.
Now, speaking of Satan, I would be curious to know the research that you put into the actual rituals, and like how accurate they are to maybe actual Black Mass satanic rituals.
Yes, there is a book. It is very known book in satanistic circles, Grimorum Verum. They are reading Grimorum Verum. It's a very popular book. But during the writing the script and in rehearsal, I didn't want to go too much into the real Satanism. For me, it is important. They are amateurish Satanists. It is very important for me.
And I would love to hear from the cast, just with regards to working in that town and that community, and it's such a large ensemble cast. What was the experience like on set, working with Mladen and achieving his vision?
Horrible. I mean,
Where did you shoot the
film? The team is not light, so I mean, it was hard on that way. But on the other side, Also, the conditions on the shooting were horrible, but not because of Mladen. But in Serbia, author films have minimalistic budgets, and Mladen wanted to do the film like he wanted, and so we were not shooting 12 hours, we were like shooting 15 hours. We were cold, but yeah, all the cast was, yeah, we made some sort of humor, like the humor you see in the film. We found our way to survive that shooting.
Ja se slažem s I do agree.
And where did you shoot the film? Could you speak a little bit about the town and the community that you shot?
No, the first idea it was to shoot the movie outside of Belgrade. It's some small, real small town in south eastern part of Serbia. But we decided we didn't have enough money, and we shot the film in the suburb of Belgrade. It is the main capital, but it is very similar to any small town in Serbia.
Were you incorporated with the locals? Sort of, did the locals get involved in the production as extras, or?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But they didn't know what the script is. That abandoned building from the first half of the movie, it is the ownership of church.
Oh,
Yes.
it's a church. The church owns
It owns
that building, and they did not realize that.
Yeah, because we sent them
Wait,
one
you
with
committed
one.
a satanic ritual in a in a church. Okay, great. That painting actually at the beginning of the film, was that found or was that from the production?
So that is from production.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Do we have questions? Yes, right in the front.
Just for the actors, for Tamara and Eva, both great performances. Thank you so much. I just maybe a question, if you can share a little bit of your experience developing characters, which you have, maybe some important bits that you want to add.
The question was about the actors' experience in developing the characters, because these are characters that have really full, fleshed out backstory that we begin to learn throughout the film very subtly.
For me, hoćeš da govoriš ti prvi? Hoćeš? Sigurno? For me, it was when I read the script the first time, I was really surprised because I found that character like a deeply feminist character, and I was surprised that it was written by a man. And I was, especially in Serbia, we don't have a lot of lead female roles, and especially written by men. And female roles are like functions. The wife of the leading character, and his girlfriend, or his whore, or I don't know. And I was really happy that Mladen wrote it, and for me, I was trying to find a path of a woman living in a really patriarchal society, and by liberating, by bisexual liberation, she's liberating other parts of her personality. And for me, yeah, this was the path for me to be that I was thinking of.
And Ivan, your character.
This one, yes. I'm rehearsing my English. I don't know if I'm going to speak English because it just happens or not. Like this. When I spoke to the Mladen about the character in the movie, I was something like this weight, and so Mladen pushed me to do some weights for me, and then Corona happens. And in that long time period, I just eating and that's.
You lost your physique.
Yes, I lost my physique, and that's I think that the guy who thinks that the money is in the reds should look like that. That's the way I do it, my character.
Other questions? Yes, right in the red circle. Yes, that's you. Sorry.
I'd love to know if the parts that your Canadian audience laughs at are they the same parts that the Serbian audience?
We you surprised
We
by?
don't know.
This is the world.
This is the world premiere, so they don't know how a Serbian audience. But were you surprised by the audience reactions at all?
No, I was personally really happy because I understood the film on another way, but I had a feeling that it was natural and that it was that.
It's good spots you are laughing on. Because I'm from Serbia and I'm watching the movie for the first time, and I can tell you the laughing is a good spot. Can I get now? This is good spot also.
Other questions in the audience? Yes, right there.
Did you recognize me?
That is a good question.
That is a good one. You didn't.
Was it hard to get this film made because of your last film?
So, the question, the comment first was the audience member loves Life and Death of a Porno Gang, which is another film of Mladen's. And Ivan, you were in that film as well. Yes.
Yes. In this film, in this movie, Working Class Goes to Hell, I have rats, and in the porno gang, I had the horse.
Yeah. Watch the movie to see what he does to that horse. But was this harder to make? How difficult was this film to make in Serbia?
Well, yes, it was difficult because when we had premiere in Serbia with the Life and Death of a Porno Gang 11 or 12 years ago, the reaction was, of course, really low, and it makes big controversy. And by the years, the cult is constantly grow up. And in that time, it was difficult for me to get money. Now it is much easier. Because really the cult is growing constantly.
So let's hope we don't have to wait so long.
Yeah.
Yes, questions over there.
I want to know, like, how does the government take, like, films like this? Are they, like, do they try to, like, suppress it? Are they, like, they just let it be?
Do you find that the government
Our
or
government
oligarchs?
don't care about culture. They don't watch movies. They give you money, they don't read script. Okay, sure you don't know. Fuck off.
Especially in my case.
Especially mine. Okay, they go fuck off.
They don't know what to do with me.
Speaking of culture, what is the television show that the community is so obsessed with?
Television show, it is
It's a reality show,
reality
yeah.
show. That is a very, very important show in Serbia because they are constantly showing it in one of the national or two of the national televisions, and they are, of course, the purpose is to fuck up the people. I think. But the problem is that that code of reality show is going from TV to the real life, and it changed real life.
Other questions from the audience? Any up in the dress circle, perhaps? Oh, yes. Sorry, I missed you. How long was production on this film?
It was about 7 weeks, but we also plan to do a mini series about 6 episodes because many scenes are not part of this movie. So about 7 weeks.
Oh, is there still plans to turn it into a miniseries at some point, or?
Is it?
No. It was initially conceived.
No, it is the main plot is the same, but we have more space for development of characters.
Of the community.
Yeah.
Yes, there, and then we'll go there for the last question. Yes.
Balaram, and I just want to ask which directors from the Balkans did you take inspiration from?
Which Serbian directors have you been inspired by? Serbian filmmakers.
There is one very important period in Serbian cinema, in Yugoslavian cinema, from 60s and 70s. It is a black wave movement. Those films were very black and rough and dirty, and kind of documentary approach. So if we talk about Serbian cinema, main source is that period of Serbian cinema. Films from Dusan Makabejev, he made sweet movie that could be a movie for the Midnight Madness. It is a film from beginning of 70s.
You got to send me that movie because we could show it at Midnight Madness Presents. That sounds great. There's a question here.
The man who comes in and the character who leads the sort of Rasputin-y kind of character. Do you think of him as someone who believes what he's doing, or just as a scam artist, or somewhere in between?
What's your take on Miru?
Yes, Mia, that
Yeah.
character Mia, he's a liar. he played with them constantly. Maybe in one point he brings also emotions to that and maybe lose the distance. But he's a liar, of course.
Just going to do a final sweep. Yes, there's a question over there. That'll be the last one. Thank you.
In terms of writing the characters, they kind of come across as very archetypal. Did you kind of draw from any personal friendships or people that you know to inspire some of them?
In writing the characters, sir, how do you sort of develop this community and decide what type of characters would be a part of this community?
Those people are people from my neighbor, and there are several characters that are from my previous docu-drama, Vienna Hallways. It is a docu-drama about Serbian gastarbeiters, guest workers working in Vienna in Austria. And it is very important film for this movie because I took a lot of atmosphere and some characters into this fiction movie. So mostly they are from my neighbor.
And what's next, Mladen? What you've done porno gangs and now you've done amateur Satanists.
Yes. I have a various idea, but I don't know. It is time to speak about that. Maybe that project about famous Serbian Belgrade transvestite Merlinka is the next movie. And it is not and it is not ordinary biography movie. It is with some elements of fantasy and campy approach, and I think it will be interesting. But it is a very expensive movie for Serbian cinematography.
So you know what that means, folks.
I realize just, what did you say? It happens that I realize that I just look like Marilyn.
Yeah. You'll star in the next one. Please put your hands together. The filmmakers of Working Class Comes to Out. Remember to vote for the film at TIFF.net/vote. Write about the film on Letterboxd, social media platforms. Let's get another movie from these folks. Thank you.